Alright, I'm gonna make another one of these vlog things. Um, I have another channel now where I'm gonna put anything that I actually want to succeed, and I'm just gonna make this channel my personal dump for when I just want to get something off my chest or whatever. Um, what I want to get off my chest right now is that I have no money and I have what, 2 weeks left in the month. I had 2 job interviews last week that both fell through. Um, Arguably, I didn't choose the right places to apply at. Um, so I just want to talk a little bit about this cycle that I find myself in, and how it's sort of like every time it repeats, I get more and more disillusioned about working. So, first job I ever had was while I was going to community college. I don't really count that as a job. Second job I had was I believe, it was at the Tony's Pizza Factory, um, which I lasted for I don't know, 6 months or something. Then I got a job at Sam's Club. Then I got a job at. Then I think I moved back to Concordia, and then I got a job at Pizza Hut and stuff. But the thing is, between all of all of those jobs, I would save up money, and then between all those jobs, I would do nothing, and that has been very consistent. Every time I have a job, and I've never had a job that lasted more than a year and a half. Arby's was the longest one. I think that was only I don't even know if it made it to a year and a half. It was a year and something. I had something in my eye, man. And the thing is, that sucks. It's a bad idea, and I keep doing it anyway. And I told myself this time that this would be different. That I was going to start applying for jobs, and I didn't. And now it's crunch time, and I think my only option I have right now is either to be homeless, which I'm honestly considering, or to start selling stuff, which I have begun doing, which I don't mind. It turns out I do have a lot of crap sitting around that's relatively valuable that I can sell. But more than anything, this whole process of just spending a month or two being free and then going back into slavery is really disheartening. I really hate it. I hate doing it. My plan right now is to get a job, and then while I'm working that job, study for the CompTIA A plus certification, and then get a job in IT, doing that kind of stuff. Will that be any better than any of the other jobs I've done in the past? I don't know. It'll at least pay better. Probably. Maybe. Yeah. I mean, in the past, the last time I was unemployed, I did the same thing. And I ended up having to borrow money from my parents because even once I got a job, the first paycheck wasn't going to come in time to make rent. So I had to borrow money to make rent and then pay that back, which ended up being a little bit slower than I would have wanted. I had to pay it back over the course of like the next month. Because there was also like a lot of stuff I had to buy for that job, so yeah. And this time it seems like it's going to be very similar. If I can make rent for next month, then I think I have a shot at not having to be homeless. But I've been homeless before, is the other thing. And it wasn't that bad, except that, you know, you have to somehow get money for food, right? I don't mind sleeping on the street necessarily, but when you have no money, you have no food, you start to get desperate, and that's not a good feeling. You have to start begging for money, which I have done, but I don't want to do again. That's like the main part that I don't want to do again. The rest of it was fine. I don't know. I don't mind sleeping on the street. I actually have like a decent sleeping bag and camping pad and tent and stuff right now. It's all like camoed out. I have a camo netting that, so I could like theoretically do some pretty good stealth camping. But then the other problem with that is that that only works if there's a wooded area. So I can't go into a city and expect to be able to set up a tent and stuff. But the thing is, like, the idea of that kind of life doesn't bother me that much, but the idea of getting another job where I'm there for a year and a half and I convince myself that this is going to last this time, and I just slowly start to hate the job and hate myself, and time passes so quickly and I'm just wasting it all. The idea of that is way worse to me than the idea of being a little hungry. I don't know. But then there's the idea, and then there's the execution. I think that if I actually... Plus, I have all this crap now that I've accumulated that I basically just have to throw away. My computer is the one thing that I would want to probably take it to my parents' house or something. But then if I do that, I have to tell them what I'm doing, and then they'd be like, don't do that. It's funny, like, I used to think I wanted to be a YouTuber or something, and like I've had the opportunity. I guess over time I've just kind of like, I've had so many opportunities to start doing something. Like, I mean, I have another channel that I started doing over this break that I've had. And then I just like, I always stop at some point. It's like, I hate myself sometimes for how lazy I am, or how like unmotivated I am. Apathetic is probably the best word. I try not to hate myself for it, because that's only causes more problems. But I really just wonder if like maybe I've just like built up this life for myself that's way too comfortable, you know? And if I were forced to do something a little different, then I could actually get my life in order. I don't know. I'm fucking 28, and I just feel like I'm just on a treadmill, you know? And it's not even like, I don't know, like I haven't stayed at the same job for more than a year and a half, and I just feel like it's at some point that's all going to catch up with me. My current delusional fantasy is that um, I like sell everything that's valuable that I own. I cancel my lease. I don't even know if that's the right way to say that, but move out, start hitchhiking across the country, and maybe like, keep my cell phone and start making like videos from the road, link to a Patreon, and then like if I could get like, a couple $100 a month, that would allow me to keep my head above water while I'm traveling. But of course, that's like, what makes you think you're going to get a couple $100 a month? More likely is you'll start doing that, then you'll get your phone stolen or something, and then you'll just be like dead on the street. So I did hitchhike when I was like 19, I think, and I dropped out of college, and I didn't have any hope for my life. I hitchhiked from Kansas State University out west to California, and then I went down the coast to San Diego, and then I went back up the coast to Seattle. I think it was like 3 months in total, and it was really interesting and cool and stuff, but I don't know. I don't know if I could do it again. It's also, the amount of time I spend thinking about this is like, it's probably just wasted effort, wasted attention that could be spent, making an actual plan to get my life on track. I just don't know what I'm expecting. I don't know what I want. So I don't really want to have a job for the rest of my life, Like, if I get into IT and I climb the ranks there and I get a stable job that I can stay at for the next like 30 years, then what? Then I'm just stuck doing the same thing for 30 years. Seems like there's no end game there. It's not the kind of life that I want. But then I couldn't really tell you what I do want, so. Most likely what'll happen is I will end up selling stuff, making enough money to make rent, getting a job, probably a job that I really don't want, like some industrial factory sort of thing. Hopefully, I'll have enough time and energy while doing that job to study for the CompTIA A+. And hopefully, I'll be making enough money on that job to save up so that I can actually take the test and get the certification, because that's also like more money than it really should be. And then I can apply for a tech job, some sort of help desk thing, study for the next certification, hopefully not kill myself from boredom. Yeah. that's where I'm at. I think that's about all I have to say.